Hey everybody, Browns thoughts here off the Mike Sports Network. So the Browns have been, hunting for a quarterback, and it's no secret that like I've said what I've said about what I think they should do in the draft. There's still a lot of Shador Sanders chatter. I'm sure that'll pick up when he throws at his pro day for Colorado. But here's where we are. Kenny Pickett gets traded to the Browns from the Eagles. Fifth round pick and Dorian Thompson Robinson go back to the Eagles. Okay, it was weird, but I don't think Kenny Pickett's going to end up starting for the Cleveland Browns. Still, odd trade. Now comes an even weirder situation where it looks like Russell Wilson. Yeah, that Russell Wilson, Mr. Unlimited, is going to go meet with the Cleveland Browns. And, Kirk Cousins is still an Atlanta Falcon. We still think that that's where this thing is heading. Nonetheless, this is very interesting because Russell Wilson, since he left Seattle, has not been very good. Granted, he did have a solid season in Denver in 2023, but kind of fell apart down the stretch. He had some good games with the Steelers, but listen, hard pass for me on this. Like, I know everybody's going to talk about, veteran quarterback and what they can do for the offense, but listen, I just don't I don't think Russell Wilson is the guy that you need to go get. And we saw it that, he did some things for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but ultimately he was the big reason why they fell apart near the end of that season. And, it just like there's a lot that comes with him. He's got this overwhelming positivity, and there's just like, the media stuff in terms of that. Like it's just to me, the window to have gone for Russell Wilson was a few years ago. It's very clear that Denver whiffed. So they got out of it as soon as they could. They moved on. They have their quarterback. To me, as much as people don't want to admit it, like Kirk Cousins seems like the most logistical option in terms of if you want a bridge quarterback, because unless Atlanta's going to be willing to pay him, they're going to just pay him to go away. So the Browns are probably going to get Kirk Cousins for cheap. So to me, if you're the Cleveland Browns at this point in time, you really need to think of, okay, we only have the only quarterback now that they have in their building under contract is and that is healthy is Kenny Pickett. Because Deshaun Watson's still there. He ain't playing this year. So you've got to have something tangible in, and I think they will take a quarterback in the draft. Now, whether it's Cam Ward or whoever, we'll see. I will continue to be consistent with what I've been saying, and I do not fundamentally understand why Browns fans, based off previous history, are going to say, yeah, fuck it. Let's just go get Shador Sanders. Guys, there's a reason why scouts universally think that that guy is not worth the number 2 pick in the draft. Just because you whiffed horrifically on a quarterback in Deshaun Watson does not mean that you have to go into a weak quarterback class and take a quarterback that is not worthy of the pick. So do not overdraft. There is no harm in basically saying screw it. Let's go with a bridge quarterback, because anybody who's talking about this championship window is full of shit. Okay, if they compete this year and they somehow salvage something and maybe get into the playoffs, hey, they've defied my odds. But to me, you if you're taking Shador Sanders, you're basically admitting to yourself, okay, you want to surround him with talent. What are we guys? We're already suffering the cap with friggin' Deshaun Watson, and he's going to be on the roster. And I understand people keep going to Guys, this ain't Bo Nix, okay? Bo Nix is better than Shador Sanders. Let's just get that out of the way. He is better than Shador Sanders. He walked into a great situation with Sean Payton as the head coach who knew what the hell he wanted, was a handpicked guy. And I just don't trust this front office. I don't know if I fully trust the coach, even though he's a 2-time coach of the year. It's like, what are we doing? So, in regards to this topic here, I don't think Russell Wilson should be the guy. But you know what? The Browns are doing their due diligence and they're at least talking to people. I It seems like Aaron Rodgers is not going to be an option. It seems like he's dead set on Pittsburgh or New York with the Giants, which would be admittedly hilarious. But it seems like Pittsburgh's going to end up being the place that he goes if he's going to play. Of course, that's the other part of this. Um, but yeah, I just don't see the need to go in for a veteran quarterback. I understand the mobility is kind of a thing with Russell Wilson, but Russell Wilson's taken a ton of sacks. He's made a lot of mistakes. I just don't think that the veteran option that you're looking for and people will snicker at me. I think Kirk Cousins is the best guy for this team to go get because he's going to be relatively cheap. He's coming off of an injury. When he did perform well in Kevin Stefanski's offense, those were some of the best years of his career. You're not asking him to be your starter for the long term. And if this doesn't work, then fuck it. You've got a draft with Carson Beck, Arch Manning, Lenoris Sellers, some of these other big names. Like, it's going to be a much better quarterback class next year. Just because you need a quarterback does not mean you have to take one. Okay? I just want to make that fundamentally clear because so many of these engagement farmers and these geek accounts on the internet who are making money off of engagement of people like me and, a lot of Browns fans alike, it's really getting dumb. It's really getting dumb. If Shador Sanders' last name was like Johnson or, something else and and he wasn't the son of Deion Sanders, this would not be a debate. I don't think he'd be a first round pick. I don't think he'd be a first round pick because he wouldn't have all the hype around him. And, he had some decent numbers, but, I don't know if he's even like, he was warranted for the spot and he was a high performing guy, but there's a reason why Colorado was really good. He was part of it. Travis Hunter was a lot of it. Okay. It's just like, I don't get this rush to just, hey, he got a Sanders said he wants to be on our team. Guys, if he wasn't Deion's son, like this would not even be like even up for debate. So the Russell Wilson thing, it's another glamour thing. And I think it's just, admittedly kind of hilarious that the Browns are just going to go for a bunch of has-beens. But that's where this team is. So I don't think I don't really have a good handle on where this quarterback position is going to be moving forward. So anyway, thanks so much for watching this edition of Browns Thoughts. I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.